As you will probably know, but we have these quarterly showcases where we are really trying to hero your progress, showcase what you've been up to, and share your wins, lessons, and failures for other startups as well. So we've got 4 startups today presenting their story and what they've been up to so far, and I'm really excited for all of them. Some are from the Aspire program that we did earlier in the year, and some are from the Accelerator program that we're currently involved with at the moment. Okay, so as you know as well, it is being recorded and this information is confidential, so please don't share any insights about the startups. We want this to be a safe place for you to share openly and honestly the realities of what's going on in your business. So we're just going to do a mini Atto update, and then we're going to go over to the founders. So this is just recapping some of the wins that the startups have had in the last quarter. And some of them we're going to hear from today as well, so I won't go into too much detail. But Kidster, Mappy, and Soundlii have all launched their products, and we're super excited to hear today about what MappyJobs and Soundlii have been doing in this time as well, and the insights that you've got from customers and what you're going to be testing next. Kidster has been a part of the Atto community for over a year. She was one of the original Academy members, and she also did the Accelerator last year. And we're so excited they finally launched, and it's a really powerful platform. If you have kids, if you give gifts to kids, it's a really great platform to find meaningful gifts for kids and also do grouped gift giving as well. Mode, We Are the Mode, they finally launched their clinically formulated prenatal vitamins, which is really exciting. They were in one of the earlier Accelerator programs. Aerobe as well was at Fashion Week, which is pretty huge in New York, obviously. And she did the first Accelerator program. It's a really great story of her using no-code tools to test her idea first, and then going on to raise $1 million worth of capital from investors later on as well. Dr. Anushi from Misty won a prize at the inaugural Women of Color and Non-Binary Pitch Night with Startup Vic as well, which was really, really awesome to hear about. And then Kate's just going to do a mini update on Atto, and then we'll hand over to the founders after this.
That's awesome. And most of those founders, I think, are on the call. So props to people and their results. And so we've just started our accelerator. So we have a couple of actually Accelerator founders on the call as well, which is awesome. So there's 11 startups and 15 founders in that. Last night, I don't know if anyone was at her startup pitch night, but that was really great to see in Melbourne, and really great turnout, like amazing turnout for, there was like 200 people there. So that was awesome to see. We've got, I think most of you probably already know about this, but we've got an office hours session. So has anyone who's been to like an office hours session before? Because if you have, we've got a lot of positive feedback about those sessions, because they're often really kind of a lot of founders have been working on their companies for say 10 years. And they're very the real deal, like what it takes to kind of build a startup away from what you read in the press and stuff like that. So I've been really enjoying those. And we've got Milk Drop at the next session. And then we've also got a masterclass on how to find the right development agency with Jane Koo from Stripe coming up, which is going to be, if you haven't kind of built your product or you're looking at taking it to that next level and you want to know how to vet people and ask questions, she interviewed over 50 agencies before she found the right one for her, and is going to kind of share tips and tricks on how to do that. Then we've also got November office hours, which we can go into later, and then we'll have our showcase for Accelerator founders. And we are looking at having an in-person event. I know not everyone is in Melbourne or at the end of the year as a type of celebration. So we'll be sharing more about that later on. So any questions before we go to pitches, just about anything Atto related? And this is a kind of, it is a community intimate session. So we really want people to be interactive as well as we go through. So once we have the pitches and we ask questions, it will really be on almost everyone to kind of ask a question or give feedback to the people presenting as well. So awesome. Well, okay, Lana, over to you to do the intros.
Amazing. One more thing we did not include on the slide, that we clicked over supporting 100 founders with Atto as well in the past 4 years. 19, 20, 20, 4 years, past 4 years, 100 plus founders. Super exciting to see the impact that they've been making. And if you do want to stalk everybody in the cohort, I'll just send the link as well, because we do list it on our website and you can check out anyone there. If you want to intro to anybody, let us know.
And I think it's 115 now, right, Lana? It's like
115, yeah, over 100 for sure. Yeah, it's really, really, really exciting. And yeah, we're really excited for this cohort currently going through the accelerator as well, because it's very clear you're already making a great impact. And yeah, it's very exciting for what's going to happen by the end of the 12 weeks. Okay, so today we've got 4 Atto startups presenting. You've got 5 minutes each to present, and we like to not dictate what you should be pitching in these situations. In the past, we've had people pitch like their official pitch that they're practicing for investors. We've had people just talk casually about their startup. We've had people go through year by year, and we also had a business consultant create a Gantt chart of the timeline of their startup, which is pretty great to see as well. So we've left it up to the founders to share what you're happy to share as well. But we're really looking for the key highlights of your story, the progress that you've made, the failures that you can share with other founders, and the major lessons that you've learned along the way. So as I said earlier, I will be keeping time, and we do have a bit of a leeway time. So I won't cut you off at the 5 minutes, and then we'll go from there. If you do have any questions, feel free to send me a ping. But we are going to start with Mumble Me, because Anita is a multi-passionate working mother with a casual startup side hustle. So she's got other things to do at the end of this call. So we want to make sure she goes first and has the time. So I'll just stop my share, and Anita, you go for it. Thanks for starting.
Cool, thank you. And I have Jess on the call with me as well, who is my co-founder. We just got a couple of slides. So basically, Mumble Me is an online marketplace that aims to match working mums, professional working mums, with flexible or just work solutions that are going to meet their lifestyles. Jess and I had a meeting of the minds back in April. I had experienced a similar platform in the US during my time there, and really was passionate about bringing this back to Australia if and when I did return one day. I happened to meet Jess in my first week back, and she asked me what I was going to do now that I was back, and I said I wanted to start this business, and she said, cool, I will do it with you. And so here we are 6 months later. It's been quite an incredible journey as the media and the problems that have risen over the decades are coming to light about women in the workplace and just the challenges they face, especially when they become mums. So that's really resonated with us. And the progress that we have made is, I guess, sort of a surprise to us. And we've covered a lot of ground in the last 6 months. So we started with market research, surveying mums and trying to gather as much information from the other side of the marketplace, so the businesses who will be our clients. We've gone through different pricing models. We've looked at the employment law side of things, and a myriad of ways to build this platform. We've looked at everything from full custom to really basic low code, no code. And we have settled on something very low code, no code, and our solution will be launched in November, which is quite a surprise to us, but we're very, very excited. And we've actually got our first customer on board to test our engagement with job postings with our current subscribers and community that we're building. So the pre-launch and building the MVP has, I guess you could say, gone to plan so far. We'll definitely let you know in a month. As we launch with this MVP, we really think that the next 12 to 18 months for us is going to be testing and learning as to how to engage our community, what they want from jobs, and then educating business owners on how to best partner with mums. The key problem here is the perceptions of mums in the workplace, and ensuring that they actually can develop these career opportunities based on their skills and experience, and not based on their availability or what they're perceived to not be able to do now that they've become mums. So that's going to be key in the first 12 to 18 months. We're already looking at how we're building and scaling and understanding that this could actually build beyond mums, and how do we allow it to scale beyond mums but still be about mums. So that's also something that we're thinking from the very beginning, because it's really important that we are focused on our initial core problem that we wish to solve, but also we obviously do want to make money out of this and monetize it and ensure that we're developing a successful platform that can be monetized. And then obviously, you know, within the next few years, as all startups aim to do, we really do want to move to a movement status where we can really, I guess, hand on heart say that we own this space and we own the story for mums, and all different types of mums, and how they actually want to be working and what's successful for them, and see them build their careers and actually own, you know, progress and start to close these gaps in pay gaps, opportunity gaps, and all those sorts of things. So Jess, like I said, my co-founder, is on the call with me, and so we're happy to open it up for questions, and she'll be leading the Q&A, and I can support.
Awesome. Thanks, Anita. Hi, everyone. Yeah, really keen to get your questions and to get your thoughts.
All right, we might use the hand up function if you want to ask a question, so we can do that, but I'll kick it off. What are you building your platform on?
So we have identified a female freelancer that can help us build something on WordPress. So we had considered softer Webflow. We tried to do stuff ourselves on Webflow, kind of reached a bit of a ceiling, and then now the solution we're going with now is WordPress. It's got plugins and different things, and a template called Work Scout, which will be really suitable for the two-sided marketplace from a talent versus employer perspective. That's what we're going with.
Awesome. Yeah, Simone, jump off mute and dive in.
I was going to ask the exact same question, and Anita, it's really great to see you, because we've been speaking with Jess and hearing all about Mumble Me, so it's great to see the other side of the team. So sounds really great. Lots of synergies we have with our product, and really big problem to solve. So I'm really excited for you guys.
Thanks so much, Simone.
Yeah, jump in.
Anita, congratulations, because you are very brave to present yourself. I'm really scared to do that. For that, well done. And my question is, your business model, how do you gonna make money out of your business? So I didn't understand that part.
Yeah, sure. I can take that one. So basically, the businesses that are hiring talent, they're the ones that will be paying. And so there's a variety of ways to do that. And generally it's either a clip, say at X% of the hourly salary of the particular mum that they're hiring, or if it's depending on the nature of the service that they require, but alternatively it could be some sort of recruitment like placement fee. So upon successful placement of a candidate, then we take X% of that candidate's first year salary. So that's similar to what currently recruiters do. Obviously we don't want to just be we're not just being a recruiter or a job board, because we're about that broader movement status and empowering mums, as Anita mentioned, but there are sort of three different slightly different business models and pricing models that go with that, whether it be an employee model, contractor model, or a recruitment placement type model, which we will be exploring in due course as we sort of build out our our functions and capabilities.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
I was wondering, what would you say your biggest win has been so far?
I think like, you know, it's been such, like, as Anita mentioned, the last 6 months have been incredible. Like, I feel like we have gone around in circles in terms of certain things. Like with the web development stuff, we've kind of gone the full spectrum, and then we've kind of gone back to the original thing of low code, no code. And you know, like even with our strategy with like customers, like I guess the win is like we now have one customer that's willing to try us out. And so I think, yeah, for me, it's the evolution and the learning, and now getting to the point where we're like, okay, after all that going around in circles, we are able to launch by November, even though like at some point in the last few weeks it had seemed impossible. Anita, what do you think in terms of your
obviously getting a customer before really actively doing marketing and reaching out is probably a massive win, and definitely a kick in the backside to be like, you need to do more of this, because there are obviously customers out there. And I think, yeah, to Jess's point, like we were like, well, we're just going to really go low code, no code, really, really basic, and build it ourselves and do this. And then I built it, I broke it. I knew how I broke it, but I didn't know how to fix it. It felt like it all fell apart, but it was that feeling of I've completely just, I've run out of all of my options, or what I thought were all of my options, and then forced to just kind of pick up and keep going. And the solution was just around the corner. And so I think I feel like it's a good feeling to get comfortable in before we launch, because obviously it's going to happen a lot after launch where you feel like, oh no, I've launched, there's lots of customers, I've failed, I've got nowhere to go. But you have to just keep going and just believe that there is the solution right around the corner that's probably better than what you were trying to do originally. So you can keep getting those new customers and building the business.
That's amazing. Yeah, Kate always says it's better to take some action rather than being stuck in inaction as well. And sometimes it might not be the right decision, but at least you're learning and, you know, developing along the way. I was wondering if you had any insights into how you got this first customer without marketing and branding. Any tips for other founders who haven't launched yet?
You know what? It's actually, so the context is my 11-month-old son is in daycare. A daycare option fell through, so I had to find another daycare. And then I was just chatting to the people, and then they needed a bookkeeper. And then so they actually reached out to me because I've got an accounting background. They're like, do you know what we should do? And then I spotted the opportunity and said to Anita, hey, this could be our first customer. And then talk to that person and say, hey, what do you think about this? And just, you know, being part of our pilot. And they're like, cool, love the idea. So I think it's about spotting opportunities. So even though that person approached me with a different ask, it was about like, this is perfect to do a trial on. So yeah, like, I mean, obviously, yeah, to your question though, Lana, is like, you just have to be really open and agile and speak to lots of people and be open-minded about where that potential customer might come from, because it may not be what you initially expected.
Jess is also a bit of a networking queen. So she just has the ability to talk to people and just bring this up like it's just regular everyday conversation. Whereas I myself might feel like I'm always actively pitching, whereas Jess is just talking. And yeah,
that's why we're combining our superpowers, right? That's why it's really cool that Anita and I had a meeting of the minds in April. She's got a great marketing executive background. I've got my legal, accounting, and personal interest in startup and networking stuff for the last few years. Somehow serendipitously we came together and go, hey, it's meant to be, let's do this. We're both mums with young children and ambitious, you know, about our careers. So it's just, yeah, perfectly fallen together in terms of pushing this forward together.
Oh, that's fantastic. Definitely co-founder relationships. It's good to not have different skills and complement each other. I also wanted to bring up Alan Jones took the session this morning with the Accelerator, and he says for the first 5 years, founders spend about 80% of their time on sales and marketing. And I've also got a masterclass that I'll send you, Anita, that I did that's a bit about marketing and a bit about pitching, which the marketing stuff I'm sure you're all aware of, but like you're always pitching. And I love that you found an opportunity, Jess, through like your childcare. That's so such a great story. And I think you can always come back to that as like a really cool way of that, showing that when you just talk about what you're passionate about, you know, and take those opportunities, as you say, you never know what's going to happen. And I always find that at events and stuff, you never know who knows who, or who knows someone who could help you out as well. So amazing stuff. Keep going, because you're obviously doing really good things. Any other final thoughts that you'd like to share with us?
I think that the only thing that I want to say to the other ladies on the call is just don't be discouraged. Just keep being agile. I mean, Anita mentioned before, we've been sort of discouraged a little bit in the process with the back and forth and stuff. And even like some contacts that were going to introduce us to a bunch of businesses, and then they quit their job for personal reasons, and that fell through. So it's always like a few steps forward and a few steps backwards. But then overall, if you believe in your vision, you just got to keep going and it'll somehow work out.
Amazing work. Congratulations. Super excited for your launch in November. Definitely keep us updated on the launch date, and we can celebrate you on our socials as well. And
Awesome.
again, thank you for going first as well. Always.
Thanks so much.
Always very brave.
Thank you.
I'm just going to interrupt. Apologies. I had one more slide that doesn't matter too much, but I just wanted to show. Here's all the founders pitching today. So we just had Mumble, me, Anita and Jess. Thank you again for going first. I think next up we'll go to MappyJobs, if Simone's happy to go next. And then we've got Soundlii, we've got Michelle here on the call, and then we've got Stone Tulips, like they're both Deb and Fernanda as well. So next up we'll go to MappyJobs and prepare your questions as well. Thanks.
Just share my screen. Can everyone hear me? Awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm Simone from MappyJobs. I just want to kind of take you through our moonshot and where we're at today. So as you can see here, this is a screenshot of our platform. This is a moonshot that you go to mappy.jobs, and it's not what, it's where. So you see the jobs on a map all on the first page. We started mappy.jobs. We had a conversation in February about people trying to find staff. It's a global issue affecting every business all around the globe. And we kind of had this thought about what can we do that's different, that's hyper-local, and what can we do to help businesses stand out? And obviously we went with the map as the hook. There's a few key features with Mappy, first being that you don't need an account to sign up or to view the jobs. You can post an ad in less than 4 minutes. You can share your ad, and I'll actually demo this for you. You can print a poster. It's $89. Our business model is software as a service, as a marketplace, so $89, but we're actually offering it for free in this initial MVP stage. And yeah, you can't post an ad without displaying the remuneration and adding photos. We want people, and we want to kind of educate businesses about how you can stand out. It's so competitive. So you don't just attract applicants, but you attract the best staff that resonate with your culture, your business, and you do that through showing, not telling. So where we're entering the market is, I'll just show you here. Can you see this Facebook post here? So Regional Australia Institute says that there's 77,000 jobs advertised monthly that not on Seek, through Facebook, through Facebook posts. So that's kind of where we're entering. We want to enter the market. We want people who are doing posts like this in Facebook groups to post on Mappy. So as you can see, that's how this job ad looks on Facebook. And then if we go to Mappy and we search, we've actually got 6 jobs. This is live. So that Facebook post turns into an ad like this. And yeah, we've got lots of photos to show off the business. There's the copy. We've got a map as well here, which we're focusing hyperlocal. So, you know, people want to work close to home. They want to know where they can work. They want to know the public transport. So we've included this map here. That's probably should be thanks to Kate. And then basically you can just hit apply now and submit your application through our website. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. But what I'll do is I'll take you back and I'll show you how easy it is to post a job on Mappy. So I've got an admin. So basically you just put in the address. It's all done through Google. There's 4 steps. You just fill in the details. You can add your logo here, put in the, like I said, the hourly rate or award wages. We've got some magic here where we're pulling in the photos. So you can see these are all photos in the job ad, but that's kind of what we're doing with our text. So you can just pick any photos you want to put into your ad. And then you get a preview of your ad. And then that's it. That's how quick it is to post an ad. No account required or anything. You can then print a poster with a QR code of your ad and then share it across social media. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to help small businesses, you know, stand out and have a great user experience and a great looking ad on a website that is at a price point that is affordable for that small business. Yeah, I think, I don't know how I'm going for time, but if you have any questions, I guess we're 4 weeks in. We're doing our soft launch in Bega. There's a few things on the site that aren't finished. You wouldn't know, but we know, but it has been incredible doing our soft launch. Just learnt so much already. We also are planning to go live across Australia late November with our campaign. We're doing a campaign of, we're giving away $100,000 worth of ads for small business. And that's kind of going to be our whole go-to-market strategy. So yeah, we're pretty excited. It's been crazy, but fun. And yeah, we're really happy. Got lots to do still, but yeah, that's us. That's MappyJobs.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. You said so many things in the last 2 minutes that I want to ask about. Founders, please put up your hand so you can ask some questions too. And Apollo, I want to say sorry because I had to Google Bega. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but is that where you're located and that's where you're starting? It's a town in New South Wales for people who didn't know what Bega is.
Oh, Bega, yes. Bega is, I used to live there. I'm moving back there. We are just doing Bega because it's a teeny tiny town on the far south coast where I used to live, where I'm going to live again. And we have a bit of the launch in Bega is more about us than Bega, just learning about, you know, kind of getting our messaging right. We're working with councils and chambers. So yeah, it's been a very interesting couple of weeks, but we're also, I haven't listened to Gemma's talk yet from Work 180, but I saw Atto put a post up today about the early stages, how you're just doing everything. So I'm simultaneously, I have a very strict plan I follow, which is the low hanging fruit. Like I said, getting these jobs off Facebook onto the platform, but I'm also doing like crazy opportunistic stuff. Like I've reached out to a national retailer that had some story in the press, and she actually responded. So I've pitched to her, and it looks like we're going to do something. So there's a lot of spinning parts, but doing everything I've done locally in Bega has helped with those bigger conversations, if that makes any sense.
Oh my gosh, sounds like a great way to start. Thank you for confirming that as well. Bega cheese. You'll see it in the sea. You're going to see it everywhere now. Yes, amazing. Michelle, would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure. Awesome work. I love it. I am curious though, with the rise in lots of remote work, how you're going to tackle that on your platform, or whether it's just not designed for remote work?
Yeah, so we're not actually, the premise is if you work remotely, so say if you work for Atto, you would put in Atto's address and that would pin like the headquarters. We're actually not focused on tech or remote work. We are focused on, like I said, those 77,000 jobs that people are doing sponsored Facebook posts, which is your essential workers, supermarkets, cafes, really like that's where we're starting. And obviously we have a roadmap and, you know, want to take over the world, but just hyper local, solving those problems. And we are literally doing one town, one suburb at a time.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you.
Very good question. I think a lot of investors will probably ask that as well. So it's good to have an answer up your sleeve. Jess, do you want to go next?
Yeah, awesome. Simone, thanks so much and congratulations. It looks absolutely amazing. One thing I remember you sharing in our mastermind squad is sort of the different verticals that you want to take MappyJobs in the future. I know that there's this jobs vertical, but there's other stuff, and I think it'll be really cool if you can share it with this group of leaders as well.
Yep, sure. So obviously you can see here, can you still see my screen? So here we've got jobs. If you can imagine, there's going to be people, places, there's going to be a few verticals. So basically you can go to the map and you can build layers up on the map, public transport, housing. So if we go back to one of those job ads and I just show you, again, this map here, like we're obviously using the Google API, but you can see here, so that's where the actual business is. That's a Google map, so that we want to have, and probably not so much to answer that remote work question, but we want to build these virtual spaces on the map. So we have jobs. When I say people, I'm talking about, I'm Simone, I'm in Bega, I'm a graphic designer, I can do 15 hours a week work. So jobs come and look for me in a hyper local map. And so, yeah, and then on top of that, I could be, well, I'm looking to move to Melbourne. So, you know, I'm going to live in Geelong, and what are the jobs? What's the housing like? What's the public transport like? And I can click, and the map will layer that information. So that's, again, yeah, really kind of, again, the moonshot, but we're starting with jobs, but yeah, we'll layer with verticals and build it out.
Amazing. Anita, do you want to ask one next?
Yeah, love the platform and the idea. Really great work. I'm kind of in awe. A couple of questions, like around how did you arrive at the $89? And then the other part of it was for the 30 days. Let's say if you're finding that jobs aren't actually filled in 30 days, have you thought through like what that would mean, like if that was happening on a regular basis?
Yeah, excellent question. So to answer that, the $89 comes from if people, a small business boosts a post on Facebook, it's usually $10 US for 7 days. So that's $77 US. So we kind of landed with 89. We were going to do 49. Well, obviously we're doing free. I don't know, it's kind of a bit of a art versus science. But what you can see here is only the admins can see that. So I can actually extend the listing here as well. I think we've got it for $49. This might not work. What I have discovered, to my surprise, just in these couple of weeks is we're like, oh, this is amazing. It takes 4 minutes. We've got this magic. It does it all for you. People still don't have the time to do that. So we're now going to have our do-it-yourself price point, a concierge price point, and then an enterprise price point. So we've already discovered that, yeah, an extension for $49. So all that is in there for people to, and then another thing, I had a few jobs on the map just through my own network, and they're like, can we put it on the map? But that application's actually closed this Friday. So we actually then have to kind of build some stuff so you can 30 days, have it, you know, for 7 days, have it featured somehow. Like there's lots of opportunities for different revenue streams, which we're trying to not get too carried away, but we're pretty happy with our price point. And yeah, to have people already asking, can we set it for a fee, is amazing.
Cool. Good one.
Wow, Simone, you did mention a whole lot more things. It's so exciting what you've done. Congratulations on getting to the tech to this point as well. It's so impressive, and your plan for scale is pretty impressive. I'm going to come back to you potentially at the end if we have more time, because I'd love to know any lessons that you've had from your previous startup experience and how you've applied them. But we'll move on, and if we do have time, I'll come back to you, because I'd love to know that as well. All right, next up we've got Michelle from Soundlii, if you're happy and ready to go next.
All right, awesome. So I am here today to introduce you all to Soundlii, and Soundlii is a Q&A platform supporting people leaders with their trickiest people stuff, and ultimately to help them sleep soundly at night. So quick intro to me, I am Mish. I'm an MBA grad and the CEO of Behavioural Science and Innovation Consultancy. And this is Mel, my co-founder. She is an executive coach. She is a product guru with loads of experience across Australia and the US. And together we're on a mission to help people leaders everywhere to nail the tough stuff. Because being a people leader is really tough stuff. And what we know is that many managers just lack the experience and confidence and clarity to handle the tricky people-related challenges that they face every day. And the fear of doing the wrong thing causes them to freeze. And many are feeling so isolated and overwhelmed that they're just not doing anything and everything is snowballing. So to bring that to life in numbers, we know that 70% of employees are actually avoiding tricky situations altogether because of that fear of doing the wrong thing. And that snowball that I'm talking about is actually costing $7 trillion globally, which is the global cost of poor management from lost productivity and disengaged employees. So the problem is pretty large. So there are a number of ways that leaders are solving the problem today, but all have issues. So you can obviously go to Google and Quora, but it's really hard to determine what is good advice, and really easy to spend hours and hours of time sifting through stuff just to find one useful gem. There's also lots of online training, but 75% of what is learned in training is forgotten within 6 days. So it's just not timely for when managers need it most. There's coaching options out there, but these are largely cost prohibitive still and very hard to scale. So they're that one-on-one format. And then if you've got bosses and friends, lucky you, but you don't know who you can trust, and they might actually give you really bad advice as well. So what we want to do is to make expert advice truly accessible to all, because not all lessons should be learned the hard way. And our solution for that is Soundlii, which is, as I said, a Q&A platform that delivers bite-sized actionable guidance from verified experts at speed and scale. And it serves to answer one really important question, which is, what should I do next? So we want to help our managers to take that next step, to stop being frozen and to take action. So we have built the platform now, and this is a little screenshot of what it looks like. So you can basically go in and view our existing questions. So for instance, how do I give tricky feedback to my boss? Or if your question's not there, you can ask a new question. And then you can instantly access expert wisdom from a variety of different perspectives. So we've got experts on there that are organizational psychologists, clinical psychologists, mediation experts, communication experts, entrepreneurs, CEOs. We've got a whole range of people on there providing expert advice. So our business model is a subscription service, and we are focusing on teams and enterprise, particularly those who don't have in-house people and culture support, or that have got a lot of early to mid-career leaders. But we've also found a lot of research that has said that individuals are also now quite willing to pay for their own L&D. So we're also experimenting with an individual subscription as well. Here's a bit of an outline of our progress since January 2022, which is when we started at the beginning of this year. So we started with a whole heap of in-depth manager interviews to really validate the problem. We then did the Atto Pre-Accelerator in March and April and got really savvy around no-code tools, which was an absolute game changer for us. That led us to develop our first MVP, which was purely a landing page to validate the question asking function and upvoting function to find out what those big challenges were that managers were facing. And then we've since gone on to build a full no-code MVP in Softer and Airtable, which we launched at the end of August. So very recent, and that was super exciting to do. Concurrently, we've curated a specialist team of 19 to help with the content development. And we've since nearly uploaded 100 pieces of content, so 100 bite-sized pieces of advice. We've built a following from scratch on LinkedIn of over 300. We've secured 3 teams of managers within large organizations to test the platform for us. And we've officially signed up 70 users, and we are hunting for more every day. So what's up ahead for us? We've obviously got a big task ahead of integrating all the feedback and learnings from the MVP, which we're aiming to do at the end of this year, once we've really gathered some really rich usage data on how people are using the platform. We're also exploring integration of AI and machine learning and ways of utilizing this kind of technology to enhance the speed and scale and the outcomes of the platform. We are pursuing funding opportunities to help us accelerate our path to market. And ultimately the vision, like we just heard with MappyJobs as well, is to explore the application of expert Q&A engine style technology across different verticals. In terms of our hottest tip, very quickly, is just to build it. It's like the no-code tools are amazing, and it's still so easy though to sit there and go, oh, I think I'm special, or our platform's too technical, we need to pay for someone to do it, or we need to get outside help. Like really and truly, we challenged ourselves against that, and we just got in and went the minimum possible that we could do, and we just built something. It meant playing with lots of no-code tools, but I think that we could have just done a lot of sitting around and not doing anything. And I think everyone, you kind of know enough about your businesses now and you're passionate about it to just jump in and have a crack at building it. And yeah, getting it in the hands of customers so you can start learning from it. A little ask from today, we would love you all to experience Soundlii for yourself, particularly if you are a people manager, and to give us feedback. I've put a special link in there, which I'm sure Lana can probably share across other channels or some other way as well. Happy for you to share that with any other managers, particularly early career managers that you think could benefit from a platform that's free. But yeah, that is it from me.
Hooey, that was very, very impressive, Michelle. What a pitch deck. That is amazing. I'll go straight to Debbie. Do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, that's an amazing presentation. And I love your hot tip, because that's exactly what we would have done in hindsight. And my question is, so I've used a similar, or not, it's not a similar platform, but I've used a platform to get expert advice. And I usually need that maybe every like few months and just pay like a one-off fee. So I'm wondering if you have any pricing model for that too, like someone that's not going to use it maybe every month, but every couple months, and they don't want to spend the monthly subscription.
Yeah, it's a really great question. And that is the benefit of having an MVP in people's hands at the moment, so that we can get feedback on how often people are using it. I think it will be a mix, but to your point, there will be some people that may only use it once a month. And obviously we don't want people getting to the end of the month and then reflecting, going, well, I only asked one question, is it really useful? So to combat that, we're actually thinking about moving straight to a yearly subscription. So again, it's they can think about the value they've got over the course of a whole year, as opposed to simply a month. But we'll make a final decision on that once we get the actual data from the usage.
That sounds like something I would definitely do, because I do pay like yearly subscription for multiple things that I use, not, you know, monthly, but every couple months.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Anita, go for it.
Not sure if I missed it, but how are you actually putting up content that you know people are using?
As in the technicalities of putting up content, or knowing if the content is valuable?
Yeah, that one. knowing if it's valuable. Yeah.
Okay. So with no code tools, there are limitations in terms of how good you can get tracking and data. So at the moment, how we're finding out if it's valuable is all through automations that we've done in the back end to ask people for feedback. And we're also looking at like our Google Analytics data of page views and things like that. But I think we can get more sophisticated around that as we learn the tech a little bit better. But at the moment, it's all through like automated survey loops on, you know, did you take action is the question that we're really concerned about. Did you do something with this advice?
And I guess just another thought. So I come from an environment where I could see a lot of individuals using the tool from an employee perspective, but you probably wouldn't see the employers or the people managers using it, which I would think as an employee, oh, wouldn't it be great if my managers actually use this so that they spoke to us properly? Like, yeah, there could be like even something around that. Like if you see like certain employees in certain fields or organizations, like how would you go, maybe there's an issue in that industry or organization, like how do we even get in and equip these leaders?
Yeah, I think like we could definitely do industry specific content, but we're also thinking about like organization specific content. So we could co-create like advice content with organizations to make it more specific for their particular people. Interestingly, we've had more traction from like senior leaders, so actually higher up, that are going, wow, this is really valuable and I want to give it to my team. So not necessarily from HR, it's more like leaders of, you know, say 7 middle managers that go, oh, this would be awesome for them, so that they have to come to me less for things. But, you know, they're the ones that are getting quite excited about it. Maybe the middle managers still need convincing to use it.
Yeah, good work.
Super fascinating, Michelle. Thank you so much for putting that together and sharing it with us. Bagger did have a question, but I've asked her to share it in the chat because we want to make sure Stone Tulips has your time to shine as well. Debbie, you ready? Yeah. Fernanda, you ready? You're ready to support? I'm not too sure who's presenting, so go for it.
Okay, great. Oh, just 1 second here. I have my, I have 2 devices, sorry about that. Okay. So hi, thanks to Atto for inviting us to present our company. I'm Deborah, the co-founder and managing director of Stone Tulips, and I'm here with Fernanda, the founder and creative director.
Hi, everyone. We're so happy to be here. And Stone Tulips is an exclusively vintage marketplace where you can buy the best, find the best vintage shops worldwide. And both Deborah and I come from the fashion industry, so we know firsthand how toxic that environment is. So we're on a mission to reshape the future of fashion.
A better alternative is to shop vintage, but we found that sellers have a difficulty reaching their target audience and growing their online business, mainly because the resale market is becoming oversaturated with fast fashion items and they have limited resources. So our solution is a platform built around a social network for people who really love vintage, and where vintage shops can grow their business and expand their global reach. We are community-based, and shops that partner with us are pre-approved for authenticity, allowing us to have more curated content. It also gives our customers a more cost-effective and convenient solution. There's no listing fees or upfront costs. We only take a 10% flat commission on all sales transactions. Our app is currently live and available in 47 countries. We're beta testing and preparing for our official launch. We have a customer survey available, and we'd love to hear your feedback. So our journey has transitioned from working in corporate fashion. I have nearly 2 decades, and Fernanda just over a decade of experience working within fast fashion industry. So we've gone on to being a founding team of a fashion tech startup on a mission to reshape the industry. And so far, we built a social media following, established our brand, and completed our product. In hindsight, we did not use no-code tools. We wish that we would have, because we would actually be launching in 2020 if we had taken those hot tips. So great advice on that. And in addition to supporting small businesses and creating a circular economy, we make a huge social and environmental impact. So one of our main goals is to grow underrepresented markets, for example, in Asia and Latin America, because our industry is very focused on Europe and the US especially. That's where the market is growing extensively. So we really want to tap into those underserved markets because they are out there. And we've realized there's vintage shops in literally every country in the world, even ones that you wouldn't expect. Our target audiences are millennials and Gen Z shop owners and customers who want to be independent, save money, and the planet. The fast-growing resale market is estimated to increase 127% within the next 5 years. And also all major brands are tapping into this market. So our projected market share is based on our niche product. We have some competitors, including resale and pop-up marketplaces. But we found our market wedge with the following competitive advantages. So first, we're community-based, not only online, but also in real life, where we host live pop-up events. We make it easy to shop and sell vintage. And most importantly, we have a strong brand image and niche focus, and are early to market. So there's no global competitors currently focusing exclusively on vintage. The majority is focused on secondhand items or luxury items and fast fashion items. We have a scalable business model and plan to upgrade and expand our platform and marketing to amplify brand engagements. And thank you so much for listening. We're happy to hear your feedback. And if you have any questions, and if you know anyone who would love to be an early adopter, please contact us.
Amazing work, amazing stuff. Stone Tulips is so awesome. And I love that it's quite your impact focused, right? Like if you do keep people, move people away from fast fashion to vintage, you could create a measurement around that of how you're saving the planet. It's so awesome. Does any of the founders have any questions for Stone Tulips? I know it's pretty gutting to look back and think about no-code tools once you learn about them and know that you could have used them as well. But it seems like your platform's pretty great too. So yeah, if you do have any questions, please let us know. Maybe could you share a little bit about the platform currently? What does it look like? What do vintage sellers have to do? And then maybe the shopper's perspective too.
Fernanda, do you want to take that?
Yeah, of course. So basically just a little backstory to that. I myself used to sell vintage. So I was on all other platforms. So how the idea came to be was just everything that I found wrong with those resale apps, we kind of integrated into ours to be better. But it essentially works like a social media platform where you have to be accepted to be a seller. So you go through like a vetting per se. Right now, me and Deb are doing the vetting of who can sell with us, but anybody can download the app to buy and sell. So you just can go online, download the app, and it just kind of takes you through the steps, but it is kind of set up to be almost like a social media selling layout, if that makes sense.
Amazing. Thanks, heaps. And Simone, you've got a question? And sorry, just before that, I just want to say it is 2 p.m. So if you do have to go, that's okay. We know we're at time, but if you are happy to stay around, that would be great. Thanks, Anita. And yeah, Simone, we'd love to hear your question.
I love this. I've just downloaded the app and I think you just answered my question, because I want to shop, but it's kind of setting me up as if I was a seller. So I'm a bit confused what to do.
Yes, so we actually have run into that question from a lot of our users, because we do have the option to skip, but it's maybe not clear enough. So one solution we have for that is we need to upgrade it so that you can just go directly to the platform instead of setting up your profile. So that's the next step of something we need to address. And we designed that based on like just getting people to use the social media functions of it, like Instagram. You do that, you go in and you set up your profile. So that was our idea. And same with TikTok. So like everybody does that, but I think that, you know, people are already familiar with what Instagram does, but they're not familiar with us. So we need to really make it more clear. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, fantastic. It looks really great, and the socials look great too. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And one more thing is we're beta testing now. So we're just starting to build out our platforms. Our next steps is to connect directly with the sellers that we want on our platform and get them to add product.
Very exciting times to get them on board. Does anybody have any final questions for Stone Tulips? And if not, I was just wondering what your biggest win has been so far.
I think just the little victories, right, Deb? We've been on this process for over 2 years, and I think we wanted to just be big from the beginning, and we've gone through so many stages. So right now we're just focusing on something's fixed. We got to speak to a new person. I think at least for this week was getting someone to help us recruit vintage shops that we can reach out to so that they can start using the app. So I think that's our biggest win now, and we're just focusing little by little.
Love it. I don't know if you know, but Atto is actually a measurement of something super tiny, like a Google was something really massive, and Atto, Kate chose Atto as a name to help people focus on the small and tiny steps to help you move you along. So that's very good that you're focused on that as well. Final thing from me is just thank you so much for joining us. This was a really great session. Absolutely loved hearing all of your stories and progress so far. It's really amazing what you can do in a short amount of time and with a bit of focus and the right advice and that type of thing. So again, thank you so much for sharing your journeys with us, your tech platforms, what you're doing behind the scenes, and your big lessons as well. I have no doubt this is going to help a lot of founders in future who come back to rewatch this as well. Last thing from me is anything that you need, feel free to contact us at hello@atto.vc. And then our next event will be on November 16th with the Accelerator founders.